Hello guys, and welcome to Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we are going to be analyzing the NASDAQ100 futures chart. Today it's going to be a very exciting video. What a trading session we had yesterday. But just before I get into today's video, I just want to say a massive thank you to all 16,000 of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. You would have seen that with the intro of this video. And don't forget, if you go over to my streaming service and on dailymarketmovements.com and you enter the coupon code 16,000, that will give you a 25% discount on access to our Signal team and streaming service. Well, let's get started with the NASDAQ 100. Now, first of all, I just want to say, what a trading session it was yesterday. At one point yesterday, we were down 4.9%. And I did in fact post a video yesterday afternoon just before the close, and I think at the time the NASDAQ 100 was trading down 3.6%, and I was calling for the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones 30 to end in positive territory. And many of you would have probably watched my video yesterday thinking this guy's crazy, he's nuts, but let's just go and quickly have a look at what I said during yesterday's video. It's all about today's close. We're down at this moment in time, we're down about 3.68%, and if we can end today's trading session around maybe minus 1%, maybe even flat, maybe even in positive territory, anything is possible. It's a big ask, but if we can end today in positive territory, that would be a massive buying signal for myself. That would tell me to be buying these tech stocks, because we would form a massive handle candlestick. Now, of course, it's all about the close. It doesn't really matter where we go during today's trading session. It's all about that close. And as I just mentioned, if we can go and finish up in that positive territory, that would be a huge bullish sign here for the NASDAQ 100 and many other indices. And there we have it, guys. As you just saw during yesterday's video, I was calling for the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones 30 to retrace. This is a typical technical move that you see in the markets. It's called a flush out. And I have a very big announcement to do during today's video, and that is I personally believe the markets have now bottomed. To many of your relief, the markets, in my opinion, have bottomed. This isn't financial advice. This is just solely my own opinion on the markets, but I've traded for a few corrections like the ones that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. I know that many of you here are new to trading. You may have just started during the pandemic. But I myself, I traded through many corrections like the one that we've seen yesterday. And yesterday we had a move called a flush out. And this is typically where the sellers, take it a little bit too far and the buyers have to come back in and support technical movements. And of course, it ends the day with a fantastic looking candlestick. So this is what you call a hammer candlestick. It's typically a very bullish sign. Now, for those who'd watched my videos over the weekend, you would have seen me bring up this chart. This was a bit of research that I've done. I'm not going to go into it, but this chart basically tells us that the 10 best trading days typically come after the 10 worst trading days. So of course yesterday at one point we were down 5%, so hopefully we can build upon these gains that we achieved during yesterday's trading session, and we can see that move up towards that very important area of 15,000. So when I say that the market to me has bottomed, it doesn't mean that we can't go and return back down towards the lows. But what I'm trying to say here is that I do not believe we will fall lower than 13,700. And you know what, guys? You can go onto CNBC, you can go onto Bloomberg, you can find out many news articles on Google right now, on the internet, and you'll have investors saying, if history is to repeat itself, this typically, yesterday's movement typically means that, we're in for more losses. You could find 100 articles out there right now which suggest that the markets are still heading lower. But guess what? This happens every single time. Every single correction, every single 5, 10, 15%, 20% fall that occurs in the market, there's always articles out there suggesting that the markets are still going to trade lower. And these are the investors and the big dogs, the big hedge fund managers, the bankers, etc., coming out and trying to scare the little fish, people like me and you, to try and get out of the market so that they can then go ahead and buy deeper. Don't forget, guys, a lot of these corporations have been sitting in cash this whole pandemic and they missed its massive jump. So if they can, scare us to basically make the NASDAQ 100 and, the broad indices fall even deeper, well, then that suits them, because they're going to be buying back towards the upside when we sell down here and we missed a shift back towards the upside. So this is why during yesterday's video, I come out And as the title of yesterday's video suggested, I went shopping. I bought the likes of Nvidia, AMD, Microsoft. I'm going to post a video shortly with regards to my stock positions. And I bought the NASDAQ 100 as well. So very, very happy with how the market reacted going into the close yesterday. It was a crazy last hour. Days like this do not come around very often, but to me it's very, very bullish. I'm very excited to see how the trading session is going to react during today. During today's session, of course, in the UK at this moment in time, it is 6:20 a.m. so there's still a very long way to go. The European markets haven't even opened yet. At this moment in time, we're down 1.35% for the NASDAQ 100, but as I just mentioned, there's a long way to go, but I'm pretty certain that we will turn this around and trade back up towards the upside. And if we don't today, I can completely understand why. That's because we have the Fed minutes. Now, don't forget, the market, to me, with this massive correction here, at one point we were down 18.25%, but as it currently stands, we're still down 15%, guys. And this to me is telling me that the market has priced in 5 interest rate hikes this year, or some could argue maybe 4. I personally think that we will only have 3 interest rate hikes this year. There's too many political uncertainties going on with regards to Russia, Ukraine. There's Yemen trying to bomb the UAE, for example. There's just so many uncertainties, and of course, guys, there's still COVID's still looming. There could be a brand new variant tomorrow, who knows. So I don't think that the Fed is going to be aggressive as many believe so, like the likes of Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, for example. And this now leaves room for more upside movement. If we have Jerome Powell come out during tomorrow's Fed Minutes conference and say, we're only looking to hike 3 times, well, of course, that will strike a very dovish tone, and that will send the markets flying. So if we don't really see much volatility during today's trading session, I completely understand, but tomorrow is where I'm really looking for that explosive move towards the upside. But that being said, we may still get a nice move towards the upside today, because as this chart suggests, typically the best days come after the worst days, and you don't want to miss the best days, because if you would have excluded the worst days and only traded the best days for the S&P 500, you would have had a significant gain of 3.7 million since the early 1930s. But of course, what I've been trying to tell you all here is to stay invested, because as history shows, if you would have invested since the early 1930s and you would have stayed invested throughout the 10 worst days per decade and the 10 best days, then you would have still had a very attractive 17,715% return on your money. So very excited for today's trading session. I know that at this moment in time the markets are extremely volatile, so I'm going to be trying to post as many videos as possible. I'm going to try and come on here towards the end of the trading session later on today and post an update, but hopefully we will be in the green. I'm very confident that we will, and as I mentioned, the big announcement is that yesterday, I think that the markets have officially bottomed, and I do not believe we will go any lower than 13,700. And that is going to wrap it up for today's video. But just before I let you leave, I just want to quickly show you our brand new streaming service. We've recently launched this website that you can see in front of you. This is where we provide in-depth analysis videos as well as trading signals via our Telegram group chat. Once subscribed, you'll then have access to all of our in-depth analysis videos as well as access to our private Telegram group chat. We cover various markets such as commodities, US stocks, indices, and cryptocurrencies. We also have a video category where we provide educational content so that you can improve your trading skills. If this sounds appealing to you, then you can find our website link in the description of this YouTube video at dailymarketmovements.com. If not, then I would just like to take this time to say thank you for watching today's YouTube video. Please give my channel a subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again soon.